Okay, so this is something short and a little bit more. I guess it's not light-hearted, but it's maybe something that all my subscribers would agree with, including the normies who think it's okay, perfectly okay, to use violence or the threat of violence for one group of people to steal another people's stuff and then give it to them. Anyway, so what this is, it's about sport. So don't switch off, because it's not. It is about sport, but it isn't. So the people that run our governments, you know, the people that run all the big parties and everything, I don't know what you would call these people, the powers that shouldn't be, the cabal, the mafia crime families, the ones that we can't mention the names. These people are pursuing an anti-human agenda. Agreed? I think we all agree with that. It's an uncontroversial thing to say these days, which is amazing, isn't it? The people that control our governments are pursuing an anti-human agenda. Wow, how far we've come. Anyway, as part of that anti-human agenda, these people have tried to suck the joy out of life, you know, so by taking away, for me anyway, I don't believe in violence and extorting money out of people and all of that jazz, telling other people how to live their life by threatening them with holding them hostage and stuff. But yeah, they've tried to suck the joy out of life in many, many different ways. Now, one thing that hasn't been mentioned by many people at all is sport. Now, I used to play a lot of sport when I was younger, and I used to really, really enjoy it. And I still enjoy, you know, one of the things about getting older is, you know, you just can't take part in team games anymore because you're kind of like, you know, I'm not going to bore you with physical injuries that I've got, but I can't really. It's a source. If I was to try and play football and cricket, not that they play cricket in Finland anyway, not here in Pori, it wouldn't go too well, because I'd just get frustrated because I can't do the things that I'd want to do anymore because I'm 58 years of age. Fair enough. Whoops. Climbing over the tree again. So one of the things that they've done to try to suck enjoyment out of sport is to compromise it. So I put it to you, as a part of a demoralisation tactic, you know, a lot of people who say like Premier League football, you know, they like it because it's blood and thunder, and you know, the teams really attack each other and go all out for the win and all of this stuff, yeah? But the problem is that this sport is now fixed, yeah? There's now rampant match fixing, I believe, in most professional sports. Some might say I'm being a bit late to the party, and I probably am, you know. Match fixing has been uncovered in cricket, it's been uncovered in football. But I think, and obviously the elites, no doubt they make money from that, because they'll be controlling the gambling. You know, most of the gambling is done through the big corporations that represent the powers that shouldn't be. You know, they'll be picking up the loot from fixing sporting events that people gamble on. So this has been going on for a long time. But I think many people, you know, before, I'm going to say it now, before you had, the game changer has been VAR, so video assisted replay or something. It's basically a system whereby a decision's been made, and then you can have a video referee who maybe alerts the official match referee to a mistake that they might have made. Now, what's happened, I think, is that it's sucked a lot of enjoyment out of, in particular, out of watching football. You know, the immediate adrenaline rush when your team scores a 90th minute equaliser. You know, and in the past, fans would go absolutely mad in the stadium. I remember when Manchester United beat Bayern Munich with 2 goals in the last. It was in added time, I think. I remember I was sat at home. This is when I was a bachelor. I sat at home, and when the last goal went in, I actually got up off the sofa and I was just jumping around inside the house on my own. Now, I'm sure some of you will say that I'm sad, and you know, in this regard, I would say it's a fair cop. But these days you can't do that anymore, because there's always a pretty strong possibility that you're going to look pretty stupid from celebrating the last minute winner when 40 seconds later, or maybe it's sometimes longer than that, 2 minutes later, there's a VAR check and the goal gets chalked off, it gets cancelled. So I think what this is doing is it's sucking all the joy out of sport. But I think it's worse than that, because I think some of the VAR decisions that have been made have been so laughably wrong. Like, there's this thing in football called offside. So when they do these checks, they draw lines on the screen, and the lines should be straight, but sometimes they're not. They're like at an angle, which obviously affects the result. And then also sometimes the arrows are really thin, sometimes they're thick, and it's almost as if that again affects the result of the video referral. So what's going on here? Well, it's obviously match fixing is still going on despite the VAR. You know, happened recently in an ice hockey match that I attended here. In ice hockey, you're not allowed to kick the ball into the net. So this dude kicked the ball into the net, and the goal went to the VAR, and the VAR ruled it legitimate, even though the geezer clearly kicked it into the net. And it was really funny because, and this was shown on the TV too, the guy who scored the goal by kicking it into the net, which is not allowed in ice hockey, he had this exaggerated look of shock on his face when the VAR ruled that his goal was legitimate. So anyway, look, yeah, there is definitely match fixing going on, but the point of this video really is that I think it's also about demoralisation. That what they're trying to do is, it's just, the corruption now is just in plain sight. It's like many other, sorry for the wind here, it's in plain sight, everyone can see it, and I think that they're doing this in plain sight just as a way to upset us and to demoralise us, to remove any joy that people once had from watching professional sport. Because these video review things, the results aren't right, they're pathetic, it's so obviously fixed, and it's all about demoralising people and sucking joy out of life. So, you know, one of the things that I'm very keen about on this channel is solutions. So what about saddos like me who really enjoy sport, who want to carry on watching sport and getting pleasure from it? I would say you've got to kind of just acknowledge reality and stop watching, you know, the top levels of sport where it's all been corporatized and the fans have just become, they're just seen as cash cows to be milked. Because you're going to watch something that's rigged, it's VAR, you know, you're just going to be, you know, charged £8 for a burger and what, it's just ridiculous. So don't indulge in any of that. But that doesn't mean that you have to give up watching sport. My solution would be to go and watch lower league teams where there isn't any VAR. Or even better, try to find teams who play in competitions or sports where there is no betting, because the betting is the main reason for the corruption, and the corruption is the stuff that's sucking the enjoyment out of watching these events. So if I was like, I'm not really going to talk about where I live now because I'm not going to tempt fate, but you know, if I was still living in England, I like cricket. So I would watch county cricket. There's no VAR there for like 4-day county cricket, or even better still, I would go and support my local league team, my like in Lancashire League cricket. I'd go and watch them, become part of that community, get to know people, get involved in umpiring, enjoy a few beers with people who you live in the same place with. That's much better and a lot cheaper too. You know, for example, here in Porry, say the football is a good example of that. You know, season tickets, I think it's like €50, something like that. There's no VAR. It's a competition that has integrity. It's something that's worth watching. So yeah, that's what I would say really, is try to wean yourself off corporate sport that's been corrupted, because they're just wrecking it because they can do, and because they enjoy doing it, because they know it's going to upset you, it's going to demoralise you, it's going to suck some more enjoyment out of your life. So boycott it. You know, thinking about Manchester United and the Glazers, the people that I think many true Manchester United fans who used to go and watch the games, they've stopped coming. And if you watch it on TV now, what you'll see is a lot of what I call football tourists, people who've travelled thousands of miles, who have no connection with Manchester whatsoever. Yeah, let them waste their money buying overpriced, you know, season tickets that cost thousands of pounds, and you know, pints of Foster's that cost £8. Let them be mugged off. You're much better off without it. So it's another example of how we beat them through non-compliance. You know, we stop buying their rubbishy products. Yeah, I must admit, I have been watching with interest, you know, Joey Barton tweeting about diversity hires at is it ITV Sport or wherever it is. And you know, I don't even like the bloke, but he's probably got a point. But the best thing that you can do with these people is just ignore them. Just put them on ignore. Don't watch their rubbish. And they'll find it so easy to monitor viewing these days because it's all digital. They'll be able to see at a glance how many people are watching football on ITV2 or whatever it is. So just switch it off, and that will really upset them, because every time you switch things off, it cuts off their ability to influence you. That's all I want to say today, so God bless.